So that is looks inside of Final Cut Pro 10. Moving on to number 3, we have someone who reached out to me. They said, I'm trying to create an echo type effect in my audio. How can I do this? So I'm not going to play any actual audio. You don't need to hear this to understand the effect, but we've all heard some kind of echo before. You either have gone into a large room or maybe a gymnasium or even outside, and if you yell or if you say something really loudly, depending on which room you're in, which area you are, things sound a little bit different. You might get some kind of an echo back, or you may not, depending on the type of room you're in. So this person wanted to create an echo after the fact, and they probably had some really clean recorded audio, and you don't hear anything behind the person, but they do want to actually create some echo. So you can do that inside of Final Cut using some pretty advanced tools, because there are, in our effects browser here, we were looking at some video and audio effects before, but there's also a whole category down here called audio. So you can actually go in here and apply effects to your audio just like you would with your video. And the really neat thing about this is, if you don't know, Apple is the one that designs Final Cut Pro, and Apple also designs a professional audio application called Logic Pro. And Logic is an amazing app. If you're into audio, if you do audio professionally, Logic's a great app to look into. And because Apple designs Logic, they develop Logic and they develop Final Cut, there's a lot of things that Final Cut does with their audio effects to pull from those Logic effects. And one of the categories that's here is called spaces. And if you haven't played with spaces, a whole lot of fun here. Record your audio, and then you can go in with these effects and apply a space to it. Think of spaces as in, where is this audio at? What's actually generating it? So if you have just a vocal, someone talking, you're basically putting that person into a different environment by using these spaces. So for example, there's a cathedral one here. So I could just click and drag this onto my ocean video here. And then inside of the audio tab of the effects inspector here, notice there's cathedral, and we could change the amount and change some other things to it. But if you play back your audio, you're going to hear that it sounds as if it's in a giant room of a cathedral. And it's pretty cool how you can just do that, apply it, and that's it. So try that out. Try the spaces. Now, the cathedral is a pretty specific type of sound, so maybe you don't want the type of echo that's created with the cathedral effect, and that's okay. You can try out some of these other rooms that's here, or go into the Logic category and use the Space Designer. The Space Designer is one of my favorite effects or plugins that's included with Logic that came over here to Final Cut. The Space Designer, just drag it onto your clip, and you can go into your inspector. There's some presets. There's actually a pretty good amount of presets here, and you can see we have large spaces. Notice we have different types of rooms, and just in that one category, there's 10, 15. You're going to find probably over 100 different presets that are in here that you can use, from different types of rooms to halls, all kinds of things here, right? So don't spend time manipulating and doing little things from scratch. These presets will probably give you the sound you're looking for, and if not, it'll get you pretty close, and then you can customize them from there. So a whole bunch of options in here. So let's say I want a small space, and we're going to do like it's in a hall, and we'll do a diffused hall right now. All right. So I've selected a preset, and you'll notice here there's a little triangle here with a little, or disclosure triangle there. I'm going to drag this out because this shows us some of the options we have for the dry output, reverb output. So you can go through and customize these audio options, and as you're playing it, you'll hear the changes. But if you really want to see what this plugin is all about, hit this little button here. It looks like a little control surface. If you click on this, it actually brings up the Space Designer. And if you've ever used Logic, this will look really familiar to you. This is what the Space Designer looks like. And all of these controls are clickable. You can make changes to it. You can see our actual audio waveform here, and you can go through and start manipulating it. So all of the changes and the adjustments you make in here will then affect your audio in a specific way. And that's why I recommend starting with the presets. If you've never looked at this tool before, this can be just daunting. So start with those presets. Use those because a lot of the things that you're going to try to create, say instead of a small space, I'm going up to a large space, I can go here and select one and it makes all the changes for you. So don't waste your time doing work someone else has already done. Use those presets. All right, so that was the third question. How do you create an echo effect? Just go into the effects, spaces, and then you'll have a space in there that'll create the type of echo that you want. Yes, I know there's an echo category, and you could certainly do the echoes that are in there as well. But for me, Space Designer is one of the funnest tools in there for audio. So the next question, question number 4, I received a direct message with a video that looks similar to